unapologetically, I loved Karate Kid Legends. I had so much fun with this movie. It's an underdog story. And yes, while many people can claim that it's formulaic and predictable, why is that the barometer of whether or not it's good? Whether it's an underdog story, whether it's a rom-com, or anything else that's kind of more genre-based, the true thing of it is, well, how does it manage to get from point A to point B to C and so forth, right? Can it do it really well? Those are the types of movies that I certainly love, right? Like Sandlot, kind of a formulaic movie in many ways, but it works so well, right? Coming of age story, same thing. And so while this has a lot of familiar beats, I love the way that they handled it. And I have to say, I was really won over by the charisma of the actors, and in particular, the young actors, right? So as far as the premise goes, there's a boy named Li who lives in China, and, he's been practicing Kung Fu for a while, but his mom doesn't approve. And, part of making him stop was she decided to move to New York. So they go together, and there the new rule is, hey, no violence, no fighting. And so how does he adjust to it, right? So he's literally a fish out of water. He has to adapt to life in a new country, right? He meets this young girl named Mia who works at her father's pizza shop, and they start to kind of take a liking to each other, and things develop from there, right? And while it hits a lot of beats, let's say from the first Karate Kid, if you're going to steal anything, steal from, the best of the Karate Kid versions, right? That one. But it also does new things as well. In fact, there's a big component to it that I don't want to spoil, although other reviews have spoiled it, as far as the premise goes. All I'll say is that Joshua Jackson plays a very big part in this movie, and I really appreciated it. I thought he delivered really well. Like, all the actors work so well in conjunction with each other. It was truly, truly phenomenal. I think, it never overstays its welcome. I think there's a lot of story, and most movies probably would have dragged out certain elements. This has a very fast ending pace. Based on the comments and some of the reviews that I've seen, some people don't necessarily love its fast-paced nature. For me, I didn't mind it. I thought it lingered when it needed to, but also I appreciated the brevity of keeping things going because, I think it has this economy of language where, something happens, someone can look at something, you get an instant recognition, you process those emotions, you know exactly what they're feeling, you may or may not be feeling it yourself, and you can move on, right? We don't need to overspend necessarily. I think it gets inventive with its graphics as well. It uses it's been compared to a little bit like Scott Pilgrim as far as, pushing those elements to tell its story. I think Scott Pilgrim utilizes those way more than here, and some of it I found really fun as far as what it did. So your mileage may vary on that, but overall, just the heart of this story, I bought into it. I bought into it because of the actors. Yes, of course, Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan are going to be phenomenal actors. And even Joshua Jackson is just an incredible actor. But a lot of it rests on the shoulders of these young actors, right? As I keep mentioning, Lee, the young boy, as well as his love interest. And if they didn't cast those characters well, this thing would have gone off the rails. And the fact that they have chemistry together, you want to watch them on screen even as individuals. It's just, I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and I appreciated where it led to in terms of the karate. I thought that was done well overall and was enjoyable, and it's not just okay, we're going to fight. There's tactics to it of hey, we need to do X, Y, and Z to pull this off. And, so we're going to train for that so you can accomplish that. There's just a lot of fun stuff in it that, as I really look at it, nothing was just, you can watch a movie oftentimes and be like, oh, I think they were, this might have been left on the cutting room floor, or maybe, this is a subplot that they didn't go into, they just kind of abandoned it. This utilizes all ingredients, and it does so really well. And I appreciate the ending. The ending really touched me. It did. And the nice part is I've not seen Cobra Kai, but I've also, from my understanding, while it is kind of a standalone piece to a Cobra Kai, it also doesn't negate what happens in Cobra Kai. So if that's a worry of yours, to the best of my knowledge, I understand this to be the case. And to that effect, no, I'm not like a Karate Kid aficionado. I enjoy, parts of it and stuff like that. And this one, I had a really good time with. And I think for the most part, you can too. If you have an inkling of like, okay, is this something that I'll enjoy? You know what? Go check it out. And I think from my experience in terms of being in the theater, the people that were there who sat and watched it, they enjoyed it. So, hopefully that's your experience as well. But if not, let me know as well. Comment down below one way or another after you've seen it. I would love to hear your opinion of this movie. And as always, thank you for taking time to tune in. I truly do appreciate you. I'll see you next time.